Assalamualaikum, greetings and peace be upon you. Welcome to another episode of BapaHebat podcast series brought to you by BapaHebat SG. This program is sponsored by Community Leaders Forum and supported by Yayasan Mendaki. Our theme for this podcast is Ayahku, or my father, where our guest would be sharing stories, anecdotes, and values that they have learned from their father during their growing up years and up till the present day. We hope that our listeners will be able to take a leaf or two from these stories and the journeys that each father had endured through the trials and the tribulations and the sacrifices that they have made. Today, we are happy to have our esteemed guest, Mr. Muhammad Ridwan bin Nur Hasman. Welcome to the show, Ridwan.
Thank you.
May I call
for
Ridwan?
Having me. Yes, can call me Wan, Ridwan.
Okay, let's call you Ridwan lah, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ridwan, tell us a little bit more about yourself before we dwell into, the fathering story that you have to share.
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Ridwan. I think I'm known as Wan, or I think like you mentioned, you can call me Ridwan also. So basically, how do I put it? I am actually currently an undergrad student with SUSS, Singapore University of Social Science, doing my bachelor degree in social work. Currently in the social service sector. And a bit background about me, I'm a football enthusiast. I play football. I broke my leg. Went through multiple operations, left and right leg. So in a nutshell, I'm a robot by default. I think left and right leg has metal.
$6 million man. Huh?
I wish. Yeah. So basically, I'm a family man lah. So I'm a father of 3. I'm currently taking care of my mum and 3 kids and my wife at home. So on a day-to-day basis, basically about me is just go to work and then go back to my family lah, in a nutshell. Yep.
You are 35 years...
35 this year.
35-year-old this year.
Yes.
And you are the middle child. You have an elder sister.
Yep, I have a elder sister, kakak, and then I have a younger brother, my adik. Yep.
Okay. And your father, Mr. Nur Hasman, passed away early this year.
Yep.
Okay. We will talk about that later on.
Can.
Yeah. So I will refer to him as your late father.
Can.
Right? Okay, now the story is this. Your late father, or rather the stories that you are going to share with us about your late father is that how a man with no formal education rose through the rank at work whilst managing a family and his 3 children and became a respectable family man, a respectable husband, a respectable person as in general, until his last day. Now, we want to know the secrets, right? Okay, so before moving to that part, perhaps you can share with us how was your growing up years with your parents, your siblings. How was it? Was it tough?
For me personally, as I grew up, of course, you would always have the where your mom would love you and sayang you a bit more, and then your dad would be the more disciplinarian kind of individual. So basically, you have one discipline master at home, and you have one a very caring teacher at home.
Right.
So technically, I mean, that's what I would put it lah in that perspective. So growing up, he's been very realistic with what he expect of his children. I mean, he based on what he sees, the capability of the child, of his children, and then from there he would guide, or he would advise along the way. So I think one key point would be growing up with his care and discipline. I think it shapes me as a person to be very disciplined, and also be more aware of our surrounding, understanding our strengths and weaknesses. I mean, we have to be realistic on where we are, what we can do. So his point of view as a parent, or his way of bringing us up, would be to know what are we good at, and then from there he will try to explore on what we can do, on how he can actually support through the years of us growing up.
And he actually exemplified this through his own
Journey.
career progression, right?
Correct,
okay,
correct.
Now you want to share with us when I said he had no formal education and he progressed through career progression and all that. You want to share with us the story?
Sure. So back in the 70s and 80s, I think life is not how it was today lah.
Yeah.
And back then there wasn't much of an opportunity compared to now, right? So my late dad, when he kept telling us the stories lah. Okay, so this is what as much as I can recall. So one of the points that he kept telling us was that he doesn't have, in fact, he did not even complete his primary school. I just found out that day. I think I mentioned it was secondary school, but I just found out from my mom was that he did not complete primary school, I think, primary 6 or something like that. So rightfully so, there wasn't any proper formal education then. Right. And he started off working, his first ever job was a pool cleaner. So literally the pool cleaning. And then he would follow my late grandfather around to do works. And then he was recommended by my, I can't remember by who, but he was recommended to be a delivery man. So from a pool cleaner and everything, so he was doing deliveries lah. So he was just basically delivering letters. Yeah, sorry, the letters, the literally one by one. Okay. All those back then they would have the postman. So he was doing that, I think, for one insurance company lah back then. After that, he moved up the rank. I think throughout the time when he first started off as a delivery rider, the qualification was not really needed because you just need to deliver and that's it. So, and then he, throughout his time doing delivery, I think the supervisor saw that he is able to communicate, able to do admin, able to do paperwork bit by bit. So they recommended him to, why don't you try with us to do admin work lah, see how it is. So he's tried and everything, and then they officially took him in from delivery rider. Then he started to do simple admin tasks from then on. So from then on, he looks from the angle where this is an opportunity for him to grow. And from person who has no formal education, from delivery rider to office, to do the office work, office admin. So it was basically a jump.
It's like office boy lah.
Office boy, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, it was known as office boy. Yeah, you're right. So it is literally an office boy, and then taking instructions and gedebak-gedebuk lah. So I would say in a sense that from there, that was his strength, admin, and then he can communicate, he can collaborate, he can whatever adjectives that you can come off with lah. So from there, then I think the supervisor realized that and actually recommended him for a diploma course. Yeah, so he had to take some certs first before the diploma, right? I mean, the prerequisites of a diploma holder, you need to be certified. So if I remember correctly, he had to chiong for some papers. Yeah, really, really, because he was telling me that he go up balik malam. Dia akan balik malam, and then he will just, get his assignments finished, and then go back to the work next day. So I recall when I was young, he would balik and then do his assignment. I can't remember how he does it lah. And then play with us a bit and then tidur. So that was a day-to-day cycle in the 90s when he was just taking his certificate, so without diploma. So I think in late 90s to early 2000, that's where he got his first diploma. So you need to get some certificates lah. Adik pun ada cerita how he passed the certificates. This is his point of view. He was sharing with me is that at every time when you go to group works, or every time if it's not group work, if it's like you have to individual work, he will always find the studious ones. Because he knows when he was young, he was not studious. Right. He was slated to play football professionally. But because he knows that compare him and his peers, so he didn't really share much, but he keeps saying that his experience of playing football in front of 55,000 crowd at Kallang, so it was still a dream from him up till today lah. He's still living. So the point is the certificates. So his point is at every time when you attend classes, when you have lecturers or study groups, so he would look for the group that is studying always. Like every time in the class of maybe 30, 40 students, you will always have this 1-2 individuals who will always take notes, ask questions, that thing. So he would be more attached to, inclined to them lah, and then ask questions, and then they will help. So there was one module, I can't remember what module, he was telling me that he know that he's not good at it, and then in that group he would make friends with people who are not good in some modules, but he is good at it. So he would use his expertise in to trade. Yeah. So this guy is, for example, so he's not good in math. This guy is good in math, so he will good in math. And then this guy, my dad is good in accounting. He's not good in accounting, so they trade. So that's how he does it lah. I took a bit of that when I'm doing my uni now lah. So.
That's a good way to to maximize your.
Yeah, tapi you need to muka tebal lah.
Yeah,
you need to muka tebal, and then you say, hey, can I study with you? Can we share ideas? Sometimes to be honest, some people are not too open to share. Right. Some people are very open to share. So it depends on the individual lah.
And he was doing this when he already has 2 children.
I think I was there, so I'm the second. Right. So I believe when I'm there, I think dia tengah ambil cert in 1993, 94 that period. 94 my adik dah keluar, so when he had 3 children.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I recall when he had his diploma, I was still in primary school. Yep.
And your mom, was she working then?
So my mom was, if I remember correctly, sales executive or just doing sales in jual lampu, at the light shop. Now that you mention it, yeah. So she would sell lampu lah, fluorescent light, whatever lights you name it lah. So she was there, but then I think after my dad got his diploma, he felt that okay, you know what, I can with this qualification I can take care of the family. I need you to stay at home to be with the children. So since then, my mom was a full-time housewife. So every time balik ada makan lah.
What do you think drove your dad to pursue better education, pursue excellence especially in his career?
Yeah, I think for me, what actually drives him the most is actually his passion in furthering education, or I would say to learn. So he keeps on, he learns fast. And the one thing that drives him the most is to see his family ada food on the table. And as long as the family is well and the family is cukup makan and sufficient for that the day. That is his I would say goal lah. Yeah. So I feel that was the drive then for him, and what drives him to get better education because of his experience when he was younger, because he knew that no formal education in Singapore, I mean we all tahu lah kan. So even now, especially moving towards minimally at least a higher NITEC or GCE or N level. So back then, having said that, without formal education, he will not be able to grow through the ranks. Back then, diploma is good enough. In 90s, I would say, to be honest with you. I mean, he always told me, get a diploma first. But now, it's not just diploma, now you need a degree. Right. So, when he had the diploma, he used that as his role model lah. Ayah dapat diploma at this age. But I told him, I also have to action with him. I got my diploma at this age. So, yeah, but times have changed.
How old was he when he got his diploma?
I think 30-something, 40-something, around there.
So, did you see how proud he was?
Yeah, he was.
It is an achievement. I mean, I have to give it to him.
Yeah. He was proud.
Yeah.
He was proud. He was very proud. Even though it's just a diploma, to us macam diploma macam just a piece of paper hari ni. As I'm talking to you, the diploma level of education that we have today is just diploma. No offense lah, but back then in the 90s, and it is really a big thing if you have a diploma then.
Yeah, of course.
And he was very he was happy lah, very happy that he got that cert.
And how that diploma helped him in his career progression?
So through the diploma, that's where he gets the supervisory positions, and then that's where the management comes in and everything. So back then, so in his company, in his insurance company, they look based on your capability instead of your qualification. The qualification is just to prong you to further up the ranks. But in terms of the scope of work, they look at his competency. So with that diploma, he can actually manage a team. So first he started off, I mentioned earlier that he was an office boy. So I think after he got a diploma, he became a clerk. It's a difference. There's a difference, right? Yeah, clerk and office boy. So the clerk, and then clerk is doing more lah, basically. And then senior clerk, and then assistant manager. So then from the clerk to senior clerk, that's where he got his diploma. And then when he moved on to assistant manager with all the diploma lah, with all his years of experience, so how you prong him is through his the skills that he's learned lah in diploma lah, the study groups, the way to talk to individuals, the way he communicate with people, the way he collab with people. So that's where he pick up some things lah in his study days. Yeah.
How was you witness the struggles that he had to put up with, or rather the struggles that he had to put in, and the sacrifices that he had to make in order for him to achieve that diploma, right? Because if I may say it correctly, somebody who did not even finish, or rather just finish a primary education, it would be quite a colossal task for him to actually, go through the certification level and then get to diploma, right?
Yep.
So did you witness any part where he's really struggling and he really sacrificed things, and what did you make of it now? On hindsight, what did you make of it? Was the push factor or something that pushed him to carry on and don't give up?
I think probably because it was in the 90s, so I was still young, and I think we were still young lah, kecil, comel lagi. So
sekarang pun comel juga.
Comel comel sangat. so I would say that during that period, one of the sacrifice was the time spent with the family lah. I mean, he had to go for late night classes. night classes, and then he had group work, he had discussions, he had presentations and everything. So one of the push factor is staying home to the family lah. I think seeing myself and my siblings. I believe that was the push factor, because he would make an attempt to make sure that we eat together, makan ramai-ramai. And then my mom always cook his favorite asam pedas and my favorite soto hitam. So he would usually make an attempt when every time my mom cooked something special, like we would eat together. Sini duduk sini. So duduk. So one of the sacrifices is that sometimes kita kena tunggu malam, late night, like maybe around 8, 9. Back then 8, 9 is dalam malam tau, dalam, but sekarang 10, 11 baru malam.
Right,
now that we were talking about it, teringat balik, 8, 9 o'clock, like lepas isya, then makan dekat atas meja. So when one of the sacrifice is that lah, and he would usually, because he ends work around 5 plus, 4 plus, back then if I recall correctly, so he would reach home around 6. So usually we would, have time with him and everything, but usually if he has late night class, I think his class would end around 8, 9 p.m. So by then kita tunggu dia gedebak-debu 9 plus gitu. So when I see that kind of sacrifice, it's actually something that what he has to do. I mean, because he doesn't have that formal education, and because such opportunity like what we have today is not available then.
Right.
I believe that was one of the factor that he was considering, like moving forward. What's going to happen if I don't have a cert? I don't have a diploma. What's going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to me also? And I don't have work. So I think he might have come from that perspective where one of the push factor is to ensure that the family is well fed, and bila aku balik, aku nampak keluarga aku. And I think that's what he wants to do, and that's why he pursue further education. And one of the push factor, the sacrifices macam balik lambat, tengah malam pun buat assignment. So that is one of the push factor lah. I think it's family lah.